Section 51. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sister Chenli. Still no response. Sister Chenli, you went to the wrong room. Su Yang hesitated for a moment and decided to carry her back to her own room, not to say that he is a gentleman, but what if it is really a misunderstanding? At this moment, Chenli suddenly opened her beautiful eyes full of water. With just that little wine, you don't think I will be drunk, do you? Su Yang swallowed his saliva. Then why are you in my room? Chenli sat up, knelt on the bed, gently hugged his waist and whispered. I just want to try it, I won't bother you. At this point, Su Yang really couldn't be polite. Turn off the lights, Chenli shouted softly, I can't reach it. I really can't reach it. In the end, Chenli turned off the lights regardless. Not long after, Yang Yun walked out of the room. She looked at Su Yang's room curiously, and then looked back at Chenli's room. After gently pushing, she found that Chenli's room was only half closed. After noticing that she was not there, Yang Yun roughly understood who was in Chen Yang's room. She went to pour a glass of water, and after drinking half a glass, she couldn't help but complain. Don't you know to keep your voice down? But she really didn't expect that Chenli would be so proactive. Su Yang took the initiative. She didn't believe it. Back to her room, she pushed her husband. What's wrong? Dong Fong asked dazedly. Pay public grain. I'm drunk. He quickly turned over and faced the wall. Humph. Do you think I don't know you're still awake? Don't. At 7:30 the next day, Su Yang woke up on time. Seeing the woman who was still hugging his waist and sleeping on his chest, he couldn't help but recall what happened last night. He really didn't expect that Chenli would come to his room. As for what happened last night, he naturally wouldn't regret it. Sleeping is sleeping. However, he also thought that it seemed to be Chenli's first time. He seemed to have gone too far last night, thinking that there was nothing planned for the morning except checking out. Su Yang simply continued to sleep, wait until Chenli wakes up. If he ran away now, he would seem guilty. When Su Yang woke up again, he was awakened by the noise of people around him. Are you awake? Su Yang yawned. He hadn't slept late for a long time. Turning his head, he saw Chenli putting on her tattered pajamas. Chenli asked, what time is it now? Su Yang touched his phone and took a look. It's almost 10 o'clock. Chenli turned her head and complained, why didn't you wake me up earlier? Su Yang pretended to say, didn't I just wake up? My clothes. Your clothes are of poor quality. Don't go to that store next time. Humph. Chenli didn't argue with Su Yang. She stepped on her slippers, took another look at the sheets, and directly grabbed the sheets and dragged them out. Su Yang, who was lying on the bed, was pulled by her and rolled around and lay on the cotton wool. What are you doing? Washing the sheets for you. Chenli quickly wrapped the sheets, opened the door and walked out. Su Yang quickly put on his pants and followed him out. Dong Fong and his wife must not be here at this time. As soon as he walked out of the room, he heard the phone ringing. When he walked to the door of Chenli's room, he saw her answering the phone. Sorry. I'll be there right away. After Chenli hung up the phone, she saw a handsome man leaning against the door. The man was shirtless, and his strong muscles made Chenli a little stunned. She really didn't notice it last night. No wonder it hurt so much. This guy is a beast. Su Yang casually asked, the company's phone number. Yeah. Was he scolded? Yeah. Su Yang suggested, it's so late anyway, why not take a day off? No, I've been very busy lately. Take a leave. Su Yang advised, if the company can't work without you, it's not far from closing down. Chenli stared at Su Yang and suddenly stopped talking. Just when Su Yang wanted to continue talking, he saw Chenli's eyes filled with tears. She lowered her head quickly, and tears flowed down. Su Yang sighed, sat down beside her bed, and gently touched her messy hair. As if touching a switch, Chenli suddenly hugged his waist and pressed him to the bed. Soon, Su Yang felt his stomach start to get wet. Lying on Chenli's bed, Su Yang rested his head with one hand, stroked her head with the other hand, and stared at the ceiling in a daze. He felt that he should have accidentally stimulated Chenli. Recalling the time I took Chenli and Dong Fong and his wife out for hot pot last night, Chenli drank and ate without saying much, as if she had something on her mind. thank you for the 100 rewards from Center 403, and thank you for your recommendation tickets, monthly ticket support, and corrections. Section 52. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 39. This man has some conscience, but not much. Women are indeed made of water. Su-young felt that there might be water in his abdomen. It was warm at first, and then it became cool. After a long time, Chun-Li might have cried enough, so she whispered. Do you know why I'm crying? Su-young guessed. Is it because of work? Can't it be because of you? You looked very happy yesterday. Be gentle. Don't pinch. You still know the pain. Why didn't you stop when I was in pain yesterday? It's better to suffer a short pain than a long one. I'm doing this for your own good. Chun-Li just wanted to roll her eyes after hearing these twisted theories. However, she found that her emotions were all diverted by Su-Yang's joke. It seemed that she didn't feel so bad in her heart. My performance has not been good recently. Yeah, Su-Young responded, no more nonsense. The company is going to lay off employees, and the director plans to transfer me to another position. Why? Generally, people who are transferred to other positions will be on the layoff list, and many colleagues left in this way. Why is it planned? Su-Young seemed to have grasped the key point. In fact, there was a client who could have won over, but I didn't go. Is your director threatening you? That's probably what he meant. Then the client fell in love with you. Su-Young couldn't think of any other reason. I hinted. Chun-Li said sadly, do you think the financial circle is clean? Yesterday, she wanted to give her first time to a man she liked, and then just go for it, just as if she was bitten by a dog. If you don't want to, then quit. Su-Young said, there's nothing rare about this job. Will you support me if I quit? Chun-Li raised her head and looked at Su-Young with a pair of beautiful eyes, the red eyes from crying, the eyelashes stuck together, the slightly haggard face, and the messy hair made her look pitiful and had a kind of broken beauty. Her current appearance is in stark contrast to her previous career elite style. However, Su-Young was a little dumbfounded. Didn't we agree not to be responsible? So he quickly refused, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Chun-Li gritted her teeth and cursed, bastard. Su-Young didn't care about being called a bastard by Chun-Li. After all, she had been bitten by him. Su-Young thought for a while and asked, how much is your salary now? Why? Tell me. It's only more than 10,000 now. Chun-Li explained in a low voice, I used to do loans and mortgages, and my income was very high. I can't afford to support you, but I can arrange a job with a monthly salary of over 10,000 and a 9-to-5 job for you. Anyway, it's all about taking advantage of the system, so Su-Young doesn't feel bad. If Chun-Li finds a man to marry, he might bless her in his heart, but if he asks her to accompany the client, Su-Young is reluctant. Chun-Li sneered, do you think I would care? If you have outstanding work ability and outstanding performance, it is not impossible to get a monthly salary of 20,000 or 30,000. Su-Young said with a smile, like the 3 store managers of Xingho Fitness, several excellent fitness coaches, and the store manager of my hot pot restaurant can all get this number. Chun-Li was stunned. She didn't expect Su-Young to offer such a high salary to his employees. Are gyms and hot pot restaurants really profitable? Okay. Su-Young sat up from the bed, if you want to come to work, give me a call. After that, he left Chun-Li's room. Before leaving, he closed the door casually. Chun-Li stared at the door in a daze, and couldn't help complaining in her heart, this man has a little conscience, but not much. Su-Young took a shower, got dressed and went downstairs, and brought breakfast to Chun-Li. By the way, after packing his luggage, he sent another WeChat message to Maran. He was really bored, so he tied up the big quilt weighing 10 kilograms. The cotton for this big quilt was brought back from Xi'an province by his mother a few years ago. When he came to Rongqing during the Chinese New Year, his mother asked him to take this quilt with him. Before leaving, his mother also told him not to learn from his father, who always threw away things along the way. Even if he didn't use this quilt, he had to take it back. 20 minutes later, the landlord came over. The landlord was a fat aunt in her 50s. While checking the room, she casually asked Su-Young why he wanted to leave. Su Yang told her that he was changing jobs and wanted to change his living environment. In response, the landlord praised him a few words, and then happily handed him a deposit of 600 yuan. Su Yang also took out 2 large suitcases and returned the 2 keys to the landlord. Sister Chenli, I'm leaving. After waiting for 3 seconds, Chenli opened the door. She changed into a light-colored floral dress, wore the pair of pink sandals, and tidied her hair a little, but it was still a little messy. If you want to come over, just call me directly. Yes. Chenli nodded, neither agreed nor disagreed. Su Yang closed the door and turned around to see the landlady with a gossipy expression on her face. Xiao Su, you really have good taste. Chenli is a good girl. Su Yang explained, we are just ordinary friends. Really? The landlady looked suspicious. Of course it's true, the landlady couldn't see any flaws on Su Yang's face. Auntie, help me get this. Su Yang stuffed a suitcase of clothes into the landlady's hand. The landlady was immediately reluctant. Why don't you ask Chenli to help you? Su Yang is indeed good looking, but she is reluctant to do the work. Section 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yang took out a card and a coupon from his pocket. This is a coupon for 40 off for every 200 spent at the famous Zhoxiang Beef Hot Pot in Feida Plaza, and a 7-day trial card for Xingho Fitness next to the Hyatt Regency building in Rongcheng. I heard that the weight loss class there is very powerful, and the fruit is free. Auntie, this is called roundness, no need to lose weight. The landlady said so, but she still took Su Yang's coupon and fitness experience card and helped him drag his luggage to the elevator. Su Yang followed with a notebook, a suitcase and a quilt in the luggage bag. Following the landlady, looking at the fat shaking on her body, Su Yang sincerely hoped that she could fall in love with fitness, lose weight and get a healthy body. It would be best if she could buy more private lessons and pay back his 1-year rent. At around 11 in the morning, Su Yang finally moved into the big house. The room was cleaned cleanly, and even the dust cloth was all put away in the storage room. Sitting on the lounge chair on the balcony, looking at the green trees, the beautiful villa, the winding river, and the artificial lake full of lotus flowers outside, Su Yang felt happy. It's just that the sun is a little too hot. As soon as he sat back on the sofa in the living room, his cell phone rang. He picked up the phone and took a look. The note was Zhang Shuming, security guard of Chenhui Mall in the high-tech zone. After a brief recollection, he remembered this person. This happened on the 17th of last month. Brother Zhang, Zhang Shuming said with a smile, Boss Su, do you still remember me? Of course I remember. How could I not remember? Su Yang has a photographic memory. What's more, he gave away 1,000 yuan at that time. Su Yang sat on the sofa and said casually, that Japanese restaurant can't hold on. Yes, I saw that they all posted a shop for subletting. Zhang Shuming was more excited than Su Yang. I called you as soon as I saw it. Okay, I'll come right away. Boss Su, what you said at the beginning. As long as the news is true, there will be no problem. Chapter 40 The security guard who reported the news. The Japanese restaurant that was transferred. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Su Yang brought Guofeng and Jianwei to Chenhui Mall. Even after fighting with Chenli last night, Su Yang still didn't feel any fatigue. On the contrary, mentally, it seemed to be more relaxed. Although it was only afternoon, there were many people in Chenhui Mall. This is the largest mall in Rongcheng High-Tech Zone, not far from Su Yang's Xingho High-Tech Zone store. Recently, the Japanese government unilaterally started to discharge the nuclear contaminated water from Fudao into the sea, and China announced a comprehensive suspension of imports of aquatic products, including edible aquatic animals, originating from Japanese islands. This is a fatal blow to the island cuisine brand. Even if those island cuisine restaurants announced that the aquatic products they used were not from the island countries, it would not have much effect. When Su Yang was shopping in Chenhui Mall last month, he noticed the island cuisine restaurant. Other restaurants around were doing very well, but the island cuisine restaurant was deserted. Su Yang tried to use business deduction skills and found that if this store was changed to Zhoxiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant, the business would not be worse than that of Feida Plaza. It's just that the transfer fee is a little higher. After all, he went to the door to beg others to transfer, and they would be embarrassed to do business if they didn't ask for a high price. At that time, Su Yang's hot pot restaurant in Feda Plaza had not been open for a few days, so he decided to wait a little longer. Zhang Shuming was a patrol security guard in the mall, and he happened to be patrolling on the second floor at the time. Su Yang learned about the situation of the island cuisine restaurant from him. Knowing that the store had been doing very poor business in recent months, he transferred 1,000 yuan to Zhang Shuming and asked him to help keep an eye on the island cuisine restaurant. If this store is to be transferred, he must be notified immediately. Su Yang will give a reward at that time. Su Yang just arranged a spy casually, but he didn't expect it to work so quickly. When he came to the second floor of the mall, Su Yang saw Zhang Shuming. Zhang Shuming was about 40 years old, with a yellow face, obvious dark circles under his eyes, and a bulging belly. Wearing a security uniform, he looked more like a Guojun in an old movie. When he saw Su Yang, he was stunned for a moment, but Su Yang took the initiative to smile and said, "Brother Zhang. I'm Su Yang." "Hello, Boss Su." Zhang Shuming greeted hurriedly. Su Yang took a look at the Japanese restaurant, and sure enough, a sign for the transfer of the prosperous shop was hung up. He took out his mobile phone and said, "Come on, I'll transfer the money to you." That's so straightforward. Zhang Shuming was overjoyed and took out his mobile phone quickly. Just now he was a little worried that Su Yang would not admit it. 3,000 yuan arrived, and Zhang Shuming smiled and showed 2 rows of yellow teeth. "Boss, do you have any other instructions?" Zhang Shuming, who received the money, was very polite to Su Yang. Su Yang smiled and said, "The rest is my business." Guofeng and Jian Wei saw that their boss had long been eyeing other people's shops. They couldn't help but admire him secretly. "Wait for me, I have something to think about," Su Yang said to Guofeng and Jian Wei. "Okay, boss." The two naturally had no objection. Near the entrance of the island restaurant, Su Yang found a seat and sat down, then frowned, as if thinking about something. Security guard Zhang Shuming stood nearby with a smile on his face and did not leave. Several young girls passing by couldn't help but brighten up when they saw Su Yang, but they were too embarrassed to disturb Su Yang, otherwise they might want to have some prestige. Guofeng looked at the Japanese cuisine restaurant, then looked at the business of other restaurants, and said to Jian Wei next to him, "The location of this Japanese cuisine restaurant is also very outstanding on the entire second floor. You can see it as soon as you go upstairs. If you open a hot pot restaurant here, the business will definitely not be worse than mine." "Yeah," Jian Wei nodded, and he was a little eager to try. Guofeng glanced at Su Yang, who was still thinking, and said, "I have to say that the boss's vision in choosing a store is really poisonous. Anyway, he thinks this location is suitable for a hot pot restaurant." It was just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there were many people coming to visit the mall. This second floor is full of restaurants, and the business is quite good. 10 minutes later, Su Yang rubbed his temples, waved to Guofeng and Jian Wei, and took them into the Japanese cuisine restaurant. After some negotiations, the owner of the island restaurant finally transferred the restaurant to Su Yang for a transfer fee of 300,000 yuan. This also includes this month's rent. Su Yang couldn't lower the price too much. After all, the location of the store is here. They don't have to worry about the transfer. The whole negotiation was neat and tidy, and it didn't take much time to argue. Guofeng felt that Su Yang's offer was just at the lowest psychological price of the other boss. Most of the equipment, tables and chairs of the island restaurant are not used by the hot pot restaurant. After consulting Guofeng's opinion, Su Yang did not take over and let the owner of the restaurant deal with it himself. Section 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then, Su Yang asked the boss about the salary of the employees in this restaurant. Su Yang just took a look at the employees in this restaurant. Most of them are young people, mostly girls. After learning that the salary of these waiters is lower than that of the employees in his own hot pot restaurant, he had the idea of accepting them directly. If he recruits new employees again, it will definitely take some effort. Anyway, except for a few positions in the hot pot restaurant, other positions have little technical content. At that time, 2 waiters will be transferred from Zhoxiang hot pot restaurant to train them. When the store owner learned that Su Yang wanted his employees, he was very cooperative. After learning that Su Yang was willing to increase their monthly salary by 1,000 and would also pay them this month's salary, except for 2 chefs who are good at island cuisine, other employees chose to stay. After asking them to exchange contact information with Jian Wei, Su Yang walked out of the mall and asked Guofang. Manager Gua, how much does it cost to renovate that store? Does the boss want a luxurious decoration, or try to save as much as possible? Su Yang couldn't spend too much money on decoration. It should be possible within 250,000. Guofang thought for a moment. The decoration of that store is quite high-end. We don't need to make major changes, just some decorations. The kitchen is also for catering, so we only need to make some changes. The rest is the money for tables, chairs and equipment. Su Yang asked, how long will it take? Guofang said, hurry up, it can be done in a month. Manager Gua, can you handle the decoration? Guofang said with some embarrassment, boss, we may have to hire a decoration company this time, but I can handle the rest. Last time he was responsible for decorating the store in Feda Plaza, that was because the store was originally a hot pot restaurant, and the changes needed were not big. But if he wanted to go further, it would be a bit difficult for Guofang, decoration company. Su Yang couldn't help but think of Dongfang, who had been drinking with him the day before yesterday. Just give it a simple design first. Thinking that even if he successfully took over the Japanese restaurant, he would still have to give them a few days to clear the place, Su Yang said, I'll contact the decoration company. Okay. Su Yang looked at Jian Wei again. Jian Wei, go to their staff dormitory these 2 days and get in touch with them. They will need you to be responsible in the future. Jian Wei said happily, okay, boss. The next day, Su Yang signed various agreements with the owner of the Japanese restaurant at the property management, 3-year lease agreement, sublease possible. The monthly rent for the 250 square meter store is 50,000 yuan, excluding this month's rent. Su Yang also paid various property fees, entry fees, and deposits totaling 70,000 yuan. In addition, Su Yang also won a 1-month rent-free decoration period. This can save him 50,000 yuan. All in all, Su Yang's account was reduced by 370,000 yuan, but after completing all this, Su Yang was in a good mood. There is no other reason. If this store is not taken down earlier, someone will also grab it. But thinking that he was busy until the 2nd month to find the location of the second hot pot restaurant, he felt helpless. It is too difficult to find a store with a top location, and it also requires a lot of luck. His luck is all due to running. If he wants to expand the hot pot restaurant quickly, he must appropriately lower the store selection standard. Su Yang couldn't help thinking, in fact, the store that can make 70,000 yuan a month seems to be pretty good, although it is not as good as the 2 stores in Feda Plaza and Chenhui Shopping Mall. Fortunately, other people who opened restaurants didn't know what Su Yang was thinking, otherwise they would definitely want to strangle him to death. Chapter 41 Su Yang plans to expand quickly. Chen Li is happy. Last month, Su Yang spent most of his time looking for a store suitable for a hot pot restaurant. Recently, many restaurants have closed down, and popular stores are being sublet everywhere. Although most of the so-called popular stores are pitfalls, Su Yang will also visit the restaurant streets in Rongqing to find those that are being rented out and have not yet opened stores. Those stores are also suitable for hot pot restaurants, but after Su Yang opened a store in Feda Plaza, his vision became a little higher. He looked down on ordinary stores. And it takes time to decorate, so he likes to take advantage of others, but now, Su Yang felt that he had to relax his requirements. It is difficult for gyms to expand, so only hot pot restaurants can expand quickly. He doesn't need to worry too much about whether hot pot restaurants can make a lot of money. The most important thing he should do now is to upgrade the level to level 3. Increase the number of employees in the hot pot restaurant to 100. By then, the hot pot restaurant buff will be enhanced, and his business will naturally get better. With a plan in mind, Su Yang took out the mobile map and found the marked location. His mobile map has long been densely marked. He occasionally thinks of Chenli, but it's just a thought. Anyway, he has given the right to choose to Chenli. No matter what Chenli chooses, he will not interfere. After all, it is agreed that he will not be responsible. He feels that he has a conscience. Wanla Finance, the whole big office has a somewhat depressing atmosphere. Those who can go out to do business have gone out. Those who don't go out to do business are also making calls one after another. If you meet someone polite, just say you don't need to do business, or just hang up. If you encounter someone who is impatient, just yell at them. Chen-Li sat in her office chair holding her head in a daze. A girl wearing black-rimmed glasses next to her gently pulled and pinched her thigh. Chen-Li was startled. After realizing that it was the girl next to her who was playing a prank, she breathed a sigh of relief. She complained a little, "Zhang Yan, are you going to scare me to death?" "Just a joke," Zhang Yan said with a smile. Zhang Yan asked in a low voice, "Sister Chen-Li, have you changed any skin care products recently?" "How to say? I feel like your complexion has improved." Chen-Li touched her face and felt that it was a little hot. Naturally, she couldn't explain the reason, so she could only say perfunctorily, "Maybe it's because my sleep quality has been better recently." "Where were you yesterday? It seems you didn't come to work." "Stay home. I thought you were running business." Zhang Yan lay on the table helplessly. "I feel like I won't be here long, my business is too bad." Chen-Li persuaded in a low voice, "You are still young and have a lot of opportunities." Zhang Yan said weakly, "What other opportunities are there? I haven't caught up with the trend." Zhang Yan came here in the second half of last year and directly encountered the downturn in the industry. Zhang Yan asked in a low voice, "I heard that Brother Wang said that he easily made 300,000 or 400,000 in a year a few years ago. Is this true?" Section 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is that so? How much did Sister Chen-Li earn? At this time, the supervisor came to Chen-Li and said in a rather stiff tone, "Chen-Li, come to my office, the director is waiting for you too." "Yes." Chen-Li stood up and followed the supervisor into the office. Not long after, everyone who was still in the office heard the three people arguing fiercely. Many people who were calling put down their phones and listened quietly, their eyes full of gossip. At the end, Chen-Li seemed to have the upper hand, and the supervisor and the director seemed to be silent. But they still vaguely heard words like, "If you want to go, go by yourself, we have customers who like men, why don't you go and sell, go and have a sex change?" And so on. After waiting for a few more minutes, the office door was opened. Chen-Li walked out with a smile on her face and her head held high. It was as if she had just made a big order. Her sassy and capable appearance made many young colleagues admire her. They never dreamed that Chen-Li would suddenly explode and scold the supervisor and the director. However, many people still whispered, "Chen-Li must be under too much pressure. She is probably leaving. What a pity. Are you interested in Chen-Li? Although she is a bit fierce, she is really pretty. She is also pleasing to the eyes. Are the girls in Shanghai not pleasing to the eyes? I heard that the quality of girls there is getting higher and higher. Are you inviting me?" "No money." "What a coincidence, I don't have money either." "Ha. I see Chen-Li looks like she is not panicking at all. There are many rich people with backgrounds in our company. They really don't care about this job, but they do a good job in their business. Unlike us poor Paulus. Chen-Li has been in the company for several years, and I don't see any background. Maybe she hides it well. Maybe she has hooked up with a rich man. Chen-Li should not be that kind of person. If she wanted to hook up with a rich man, she would have left long ago, and she wouldn't have waited until now. Let's call now." Sitting back at her workstation, Chen-Li leaned back in her office chair and breathed a long sigh of relief. It feels so good. It feels so good. Chen-Li felt that every cell in her body was breathing desperately. After scolding the supervisor and the director, Chen-Li felt that all the grievances and resentment accumulated in her for more than half a year disappeared. Thinking about her emotional state close to collapse some time ago, at this moment, she felt like she had seen the blue sky after the clouds were cleared. Originally, Chen-Li didn't want to get angry, but one of them played the black face and the other played the white face, and fooled her like a fool. Originally, Chen-Li didn't dare to get angry. After all, she really needed this job, but when she thought of Su Yang's promise, she couldn't bear it and broke out directly. "Being bitten by a dog? It's easy to say. Why don't you get bitten by a dog? Sister Chen-Li, are you okay?" Zhang Yan looked at Chen-Li with some worry. Chenli smiled and said, "It's okay. Are you planning to leave?" "Yeah," Zhang Yan asked tentatively, "have you found a new employer?" "I guess so." She believed in Su Yang's strength and promise. It's just a little hard to face. Every time she thinks of it, she feels complicated. She may not necessarily go to Su Yang, but Su Yang is indeed her way out. "That's great," Zhang Yan said. She was happy, but she felt a little disappointed. As soon as Chenli left, she had few friends in the company. At 9:30 on the second day after buying the island restaurant, Su Yang rushed to the hot pot restaurant in Feda Plaza. At this time, all the employees were there, waiting for the morning meeting. Thinking of last month's revenue, Su Yang was in a good mood. In July, the store was open for half a month, and 7 days were spent on opening promotions. In the remaining days, the rent, water, electricity, and gas were already earned back, and even part of the labor was earned back. When he thought of the approximate income in August, he felt even better. When he entered the hot pot restaurant, everyone fell silent. Seeing the pairs of eyes looking at him, Su Yang was not afraid. He said a few words and went straight to the point. "I am very satisfied with your performance last time. I saw your enthusiasm and your service attitude towards customers, so I will give you an extra bonus of 1,000 yuan. Chapter 42. Do you want to teach them a lesson?" Employees who resigned voluntarily. "Ah. Thank you, boss. Boss is generous. A bonus of 1,000 yuan. How can these employees who only have a monthly salary of 5 or 6,000 not be happy?" The receptionist Tan Jessen shouted loudly, "Boss is so handsome." Now, many people laughed. They are all a group of young people, most of them are girls, so the atmosphere seems to be more lively. Su Yang pressed his hand, and a group of people calmed down lightly. He is usually a little serious, and his prestige in the hot pot restaurant is still very strong. There is no way. Su Yang is not very young, and he is about the same as these young employees. When you are with a group of young girls of the same age, it is actually difficult to manage them if you get too familiar with them. Su Yang prefers to keep a proper distance. If you can continue to maintain your excellent service attitude and enthusiasm for work, I will consider giving you 20% of the monthly profit as a reward. Section 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. All the employees were surprised again. Only Guofang and Jian Wei were not too surprised. Su Yang had informed them in advance. They naturally had no objection, because the boss paid for it. Moreover, the boss's behavior of spending money can also improve the enthusiasm of employees and facilitate their management. After the grand opening promotion, our store is still very prosperous. If it can continue, the 20% profit should allow you to earn about 2,000 more per month. At this point, Su Yang saw a group of employees' eyes red, especially those waiters. Don't take 2,000 as a big deal. The surrounding counties near Rongqing have a monthly salary of about 3,000, even if they are on the payroll. Apart from all kinds of benefits, the younger ones can only get 3,000 or 4,000 per month. Before Su Yang gave these employees a salary increase, their salary was only 4,000 or 5,000. The work in a hot pot restaurant is actually quite hard, even for ordinary waiters. When the business is booming, they are busy all the time. Those who can work in a hot pot restaurant for a long time are all down-to-earth and hard-working people. Su Yang's employees are all relatively young, and he doesn't want them to suffer too much. Anyway, we are all fleecing the system, so let's all fleece together. If the hot pot restaurant business gets better, 2,000 may become 3,000 or 4,000. If you can satisfy me and the store manager, I don't mind giving you 30% or 40% of the profit as a reward. Su Yang looked at everyone and asked, "So, do you know what to do? Good service? Enthusiastic service? Keep customers? Work hard." A group of people responded loudly and sparsely. "That's right, we need to work hard, serve enthusiastically, and keep customers." Su Yang nodded, but he was still a little dissatisfied. "You need to shout louder, with momentum, and in unison." Tan Jessen shouted loudly, "Work hard, serve enthusiastically, and keep customers. Work hard, serve enthusiastically." Other employees soon joined in and shouted. Then, those employees who were usually silent and didn't like to talk, including Jian Wei, were also infected by the fanatical atmosphere and shouted, Finally, Guofeng and chefs Ding Hani and Li Junpei also joined. At first, they were embarrassed by Su Yang's face. After all, they were all men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, but when they started shouting, they were soon infected by the atmosphere. The whole hot pot restaurant was full of noise and the atmosphere was fanatical. The employees of the restaurants next door looked at Zhoushiang Nyoto hot pot curiously. I don't know what they are doing. If it wasn't a hot pot restaurant, but a residential area, they might have just reported it with a phone call. Okay, Su Yang waved his hand, and the shouting gradually stopped. Some employees shouted until their cheeks flushed, and some employees had a hoarse voice. They looked at Su Yang with excitement and enthusiasm. Okay, let Manager Guo arrange the work next. Su Yang came down from the main seat and suddenly received a system prompt. Ding Zhoushiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant Tanjiesin, Zhu Zishuan, and others' loyalty has increased to 90, and you get a cash reward of 160,000. Is it so fierce? Su Yang counted and found that 3 employees had already increased their loyalty to him to 90. He observed the loyalty of other employees and found that they all had a relatively obvious improvement. So, the way to quickly improve loyalty should be to use money in one hand and PUA brainwashing in the other. Should we learn how to teach early classes from insurance companies? It should be okay to organize some activities, right? Su Yang couldn't help but think. Guofeng's speech was also crisp and clear. He finished his speech quickly and arranged the work. Just when Su Yang was about to leave, he saw a short and fat girl talking to Guofeng at the kitchen door of the hot pot restaurant. He leaned over and listened. It turned out that she was talking about resigning and asked Guofeng if he could give her the salary in advance. Su Yang remembered this girl, Li Sixing, 20 years old, graduated from high school, and worked diligently and efficiently. What impressed Su Yang was her 2 short legs that moved very fast. Another time, she might have stood for a long time, so she hid in the corner and beat her legs. Resign? Su Yang asked in confusion. Li Sixing, why do you want to resign? He took a look at Li Sixing's loyalty. The loyalty reached 87. Although he is not a die-hard fan, he is very close. The sense of belonging is very high. There is no reason to resign and leave. At this time, the waiter who was cleaning the room next to him also looked over. Guofeng said, his father broke his leg yesterday afternoon. It seems to be a comminuted fracture. She needs to go back to take care of him. Where is your mother? Li Sixing lowered his head and did not speak. Su Yang felt that he might have said the wrong thing, so he changed the subject. Does your father buy insurance? It seems not. Li Sixing whispered, he thinks the insurance bought in the village is too expensive. It seems that he didn't pay last year. Is the money enough? It should be enough. Su Yang thought for a while and asked, will you come again when your father recovers from his illness? The boss still wants me. Li Sixing was surprised. Su Yang smiled, if you want to come back. Of course I'm willing to come. To be honest, if she hadn't had to, she wouldn't have left Zhoushiang. Just now she hesitated for a long time downstairs, but her father must be taken care of in the hospital, and her grandparents are old and can't stay up late with them. Her relatives can't stay with her father for a month or 2. Su Yang suddenly asked, how much money do you have now? 50,000. Su Yang was a little surprised. If there was no golden finger system, this girl would have more savings than him. 50,000 is definitely not enough for a comminuted fracture of the leg. Su Yang took out his mobile phone and said, I'll give you another 100,000. What? Su Yang urged, if you lend it to you, you have to pay it back. Today Zhoushiang's employees gave him 130,000, and he was in a good mood. Boss, this is not allowed. Nothing is impossible, I have plenty of money. Su Yang said casually, but you have to write a good IOU, I'll wait for you to come back to work and pay it back. Guofeng also advised, boss lends you money, just keep it, you don't have to spend all the money, you can pay the boss back if you can't spend it all. Chapter 43 Zhou Zichuan's Dream Car Purchase Discount Card. Section 57. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tanjiesin was also advising, that's right, just accept Sixing. Li Sixing, just take it. Take it. Your 50,000 is definitely not enough. That's right, borrowing money from your boss is better than borrowing money from an online loan, right? It's so shady. Other employees also came over and tried to persuade Li Sixing. The girls who lived with Li Sixing all knew that she was leaving. Li Sixing, who was a little embarrassed after being persuaded by so many people, took out his mobile phone and accepted Su Yang's transfer of 100,000 yuan. He also handed an IOU to Su Yang in a polite manner. Guo Fang taught her how to write the IOU format. And Su Yang also confiscated the interest from her. The high interest rate shows that he has a bad heart. The low interest rate also makes him look stingy. Thank you, boss. Li Sixing bowed deeply to Su Yang. When she raised her head again, her eyes were filled with tears. Su Yang took a deep breath to stop the sourness in her heart, patted her shoulder and said, "Remember not to borrow online loans, you know. If you really don't have enough money, you can go to Store Manager Guo, and Store Manager Guo will notify me. Also, remember to buy the medical insurance advertised in the village this year." Hearing this, Li Sixing couldn't stop crying. She choked and said, "Boss, I will be back." Go. Watching Li Sixing leave, Su Yang turned around and saw Tan Jiasen wiping tears next to her. The makeup is so wet. Looking at the others, she was not the only one crying. Are these girls too sentimental? However, that man should be named Zhou Zichuan, right? Why do you look like you're about to cry? Ding Jiuxiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant. Guo Fang's loyalty has been increased to 90, and you will gain +1 level of hot pot restaurant management skills. Ding Jiuxiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant. Li Sixing, Jiang Mingxin, Su Ling, Zhang Yang, and others' loyalty has been raised to 90, and you will receive a cash reward of 120,000 yuan. Ding Jiuxiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant. Zhou Zichuan's loyalty has been increased to 90, and you will get Zhou Zichuan's dream car purchase discount card. Su Yang really didn't expect this group of people to react so loudly. But he was quite happy that the 100,000 he had just borrowed was back. His funds are actually quite tight. As for the hot pot restaurant management skill +1, Su Yang also likes it very much. Why don't you have too many skills to overwhelm your body? But what is Zhou Zichuan's dream car purchase discount card? Guo Fang urged. Why are you still standing? Go to work. Okay. A group of employees went to work again. However, Guo Fang can clearly feel that they are more active in their work. Su Yang walked to the door of the hot pot restaurant and looked at the car discount card. Zhou Zichuan's dream car purchase discount card. You can get a 90% discount on domestically produced cars, a 50% discount on joint venture cars, and no discount on imported cars. After using the car purchase card, the funds will be deducted, and you can pick up the car within 3 days. Good guy. With this discount, you can buy domestic cars at 10% off and joint venture cars at 50% off. But why are domestic cars treated so differently than joint venture cars and imported cars? Also, why can't Zhou Zichuan be bolder in his dreams? It would be great to get 0.1% off, 0.01% off, or even 0.001% off for everything. Then he will definitely get $1 million car. Seeing Guo Fang also walking out, Su Yang asked casually. Does the chef, Zhou Zichuan, like cars? Yes, he likes cars. Last time he was arguing with Lao Ding in the kitchen over whether domestic cars or joint venture cars are better. At this point, Guo Fang added, but he is still serious about his work. It's normal for the chef to chat occasionally. He likes domestic cars. Yeah. Guo Fang said with a smile. Lao Ding thinks that domestically produced cars are not good, so it is better to buy joint venture cars to ensure the quality. Zhou Zichuan thinks that domestically produced cars should be supported. Very good. Su Yang nodded, glanced at the discount card and said, Chinese cars are indeed good. Lao Ding also supported domestically produced cars back then. Looking at the clean streets, Guo Fang continued, but the domestically produced car he bought made him miserable. He said that if he didn't work in catering, he could go directly to the factory. He became a car mechanic. The quality of domestically produced cars at that time was indeed poor, so I can't blame him entirely. Su Yang smiled and said, I'll just chat casually. that he mainly wanted to understand how special items dropped. After all, this was his first time encountering a car purchase card. After getting into Marant's car and heading to the Xingho Fitness Qinglong district store, he asked casually, "Maran, which domestic car is best to buy at this stage?" "Boss, do you want to buy a car?" "We have this plan," that after getting his driver's license, Su Yang didn't touch a car much. Who doesn't want to buy a car of his own? "Mainly because I don't have the money to buy it." After getting rich through the golden finger system, his funds were quite tight. He would rather spend his money on the store and earn more money. "I really want to buy a car that costs more than 100,000 yuan, but I feel that the quality is not good enough." At any rate, he is now considered to have a successful career. Fortunately, now he has a car discount card. What price does the boss want to buy? 1 million to 2 million, that his psychological price range is 100,000 to 200,000. As for joint venture cars, he definitely won't consider them. A domestic car priced at 1 million renminbi is definitely better than a joint venture car priced at 200,000 renminbi. Maran looked at his boss in surprise, and sighed in his heart that his boss is really powerful. "Boss, are you sure you want to buy a domestic car?" "Of course, I support domestic products," Su Yang said righteously. "Does the boss like electric cars?" "All right." Su Yang doesn't care about electric cars or gasoline cars. He has never driven a car. It is relatively easy to find charging piles in Rongcheng, and there are also charging piles in the community. I used to drive the coaches Santana, and I also drove my uncle's Ford when I just got my driver's license, but that is already a long memory. "I heard that U8 is good," Maran said with a smile. The new energy off-road vehicle launched by BBD has two top technologies, Yixifang and Yinyanpi intelligent hydraulic body control system, and can also be used for emergency floating and turning around on the spot. Speaking of cars, Maran is really like a treasure, and he talks endlessly. It can be seen that he is really a car lover. How much is this car? Section 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yang remembered this car. It seemed to be more than 1 million, it was also a rare high price among domestic luxury cars, but he didn't know the specific price. The luxury version should be 1.26 million, Su Yang nodded. It's quite cheap, less than 130,000. Just now, the employees just contributed 130,000 for him. After hearing Su Yang's words, Maran opened the window to blow the wind and wanted to calm down. After calming down, he continued, "There is also U9, which is not bad. It is an electric sports car. It may be more suitable for young people like the boss. The official price is 1.68 million, but it has not been delivered yet. It may take half a year." Su Yang took a look at the car purchase card and found that if he bought U9, he would have to wait for half a year. After half a year, he estimated that he could buy it in full, so why would he need a discount card? "I can't wait that long, so let's go with U8, he had some impression of U8, and occasionally saw it on the main road in Rongcheng. Although it is an off-road vehicle, there is also a city luxury version, which is definitely no problem to drive in the city. If he were to buy U9 now, he would not be willing to do so. First, the price of nearly 200,000 yuan hurt him. Second, he would have to wait for half a year. Third, the sports car only has 2 seats, which is not very convenient. Sports cars can be used to pick up girls, but girls are not as fun as careers. If he really wants to pick up girls, he doesn't need a sports car, right? Isn't it enough to use his face? Chapter 44. Young man, be careful of the landlord of this store. When Su Yang thought of girls, he thought of Chenli, and then he felt that he had no energy to spend. He opened the window to let in the cool air, and the car purchase card in his hand turned into white light and disappeared. At the same time, all kinds of data about U8 were displayed in front of him. He chose the obsidian black paint that he liked more, the gray interior, and the top configuration for the rest. After selecting the configuration, his account was also deducted 126,000 yuan. Looking at the 1.08 million yuan in the account, Su Yang felt that he didn't have enough money to spend. With his eyes closed, he transferred 300,000 yuan to the accounts of Xingho Fitness Qinglong District Store and Gaoxin District Store respectively. Then he transferred 200,000 yuan to Xingho Fitness Beida Street Store, and only 380,000 yuan was left in his hand. He had to transfer money. Because of his salary increase, the Gaoxin District Store and Beida Street Store did not have enough money to pay wages. As for Xinghe Fitness Qinglong District Store, they were responsible for the main publicity plan and needed to produce and purchase various advertisements and event supplies. Looking at the 380,000 yuan in the account, Su Yang did not feel any sense of urgency. In just 3 or 2 days, the 4 stores will pay wages. Su Yang thought it was a little funny that he, as a boss, was looking forward to the salary payment on the 7th just like his employees. He took out his mobile phone, found Dong Fang's number and called. Su Yang, what's the matter? Dong Fang asked with some confusion. Brother Dong, I have a small decoration business, maybe only 100,000 yuan, are you interested? No matter how small the mosquito is, it's still meat, of course I can take it. Dong Fang asked on the phone, what business? Change an island restaurant into a hot pot restaurant. Time is tight, it would be best if it can be done this month. Your friends? Mine, Dong Fang asked loudly. Yours? Su Yang smiled. I opened it. Why didn't you mention it? I wanted to say it that day, but you talked so excitedly. I didn't even get a chance to interrupt. Hearing Su Yang say this, thinking of the scene that day, Dong Fang felt a little embarrassed. As usual, in the gym, try to vent the excess energy. Su Yang went to Beida Street that afternoon. The store he noticed at that time was near Beida Street. When he came to the door of the street-facing store, Su Yang was relieved to see that the rental information had not been removed. This store faces the street on both sides, and the area is estimated to be no less than 250 square meters. In front of the store, there is also a relatively spacious open space, judging from other stores nearby. It should be possible to place food outside. There are also various barbecues, skewers, fish hot pot, frog hot pot, and restaurants around the store. It should be a more attractive food street nearby. The nearby residential areas were built 10 years ago, with a very high occupancy rate and public parking lots. Su Yang didn't use his business deduction skills at the time and chose this store directly. However, he felt that the profit was a little meager, much worse than the hot pot restaurant in Feida Plaza, so he didn't take action directly. After more than a month of running around and investigating, he now thinks that a store that makes 70,000 or 80,000 yuan a month seems to be good. Looking at the sign of Zhangji Chuan Chuan in this store, Su Yang was a little curious about how the previous owner made the store go bankrupt. Obviously the location is quite good. Is it because the taste is too bad? This is probably the only possibility. Just after getting off the car and preparing to call the number left by the landlord, the old man at the convenience store next door came over with a palm leaf fan. The old man asked with a smile, "Young man, do you want to rent this store?" "Yes, I think the location of this store is okay." Su Yang asked in confusion, "Uncle, is this store yours?" "It's not mine." "Oh. If you want to rent this store to do business, then you have to be careful of the landlord." "What do you mean?" Su Yang put down the phone and looked at the old man with some curiosity. He has used business deduction before and there is no problem at all. This store used to be Zhang's Chuan Chuan. It tasted good and was affordable. People nearby liked to eat there, and the business was pretty good. Yeah, Su Yang listened carefully. Later, the landlord saw that the business was good, so he drove them away and continued to use their name to open a Chuan Chuan store. Su Yang continued to ask, "Why is it closed now?" "Ha." The old man gloated. The taste was bad, the service was bad, and the portion was not enough. One chicken foot could be pierced with 14 skewers. It was so black-hearted that it was boycotted by old customers who liked to eat Chuan Chuan nearby, and it closed down last month. So that's how it is. Su Yang nodded, and he was also very disgusted with the landlord. I heard that he lost at least 200,000 yuan, not counting the rent. The old man happily made a 7 with his hands. If you count the rent and the penalty, he lost at least 700,000 yuan. That's a lesson learned. The old man fanned himself with a palm leaf fan and said, "I'm not stopping you from renting, I'm just asking you to be careful of that guy. I'll remind anyone who comes over these few days." Thank you, old man. Su Yang estimated that this shop had been delayed for so long and had not been rented out. Maybe he should thank this old man. When encountering such a landlord with a criminal record, ordinary shop owners would be scared. He didn't hesitate and called the landlord. Section 59. You are listening at novelfull.audio. According to deduction, it is impossible for this landlord to become a monster for at least 1 year. It is possible that reality has given me a hard lesson and I have to be honest. Although this landlord is disgusting, the store in this location will not be vacant for long. These days, you don't need too much iron-headedness, might as well make him cheaper. Seeing Su Yang calling, the uncle reminded, young man, remember to raise the liquidated damages. Su Yang nodded, I understand. Soon Su Yang dialed the landlord's phone number. 2 children. 30,000. Bump, that the sound of playing mahjong came from the phone. Who? Do you want to rent this store on Xinqing Street? If you want to rent, of course you have to rent. But when the landlord heard that Su Yang was renting a shop, he immediately became energetic and said he would rush over immediately. After hanging up the phone, Su Yang took a look at the uncle's convenience store. Uncle, does this store belong to you? Right. Maran. Su Yang called out to Maran, who was squatting next to the trash can smoking. Maran smokes, but he doesn't smoke in the car. What's the matter, boss? Pick 3 cigarettes you like and what drinks you like. You can also bring 3 boxes and I'll reimburse you. Maran said in surprise, is that okay? Don't be polite to me, the uncle said from the side. Young man, there's no need, I'm just reminding you. Su Yang smiled and said, it's okay, I have to buy it anyway, why not stop by and buy it from you. Later, Su Yang took 5 pieces of huazi, 2 boxes of mineral water, 2 boxes of soda water, and some Snickers bars from the uncle's shop and put them into the trunk of Maran's car. Although he doesn't smoke, he can still give it away. Maran picked out a box of Coke, a box of Sprite, and a box of mineral water. When he was picking out cigarettes, Su Yang saw him fingering cigarettes worth more than 10 yuan a pack, so he decisively gave him 3 soft clouds. He had seen Maran smoke Rwanyan before, but his consumption had obviously downgraded this month. After getting 3 cigarettes, Maran was so happy that he couldn't find Bei. The convenience store man wiped 0 directly on Su Yang. After paying more than 3,000 yuan, the uncle asked his wife to take out 2 small stools and asked Su Yang and Maran to sit and wait at the door of the store. Not long after, a white Mercedes-Benz parked at the front entrance of the store. A 40-year-old man came down, a short, fat man with a cigarette in his mouth. He glanced at Su Yang and Maran at the door of the convenience store next to him, and his expressions were obviously stiff. Chapter 45. Zhang Wanqian is just dishonest, just like his father. That's him, said the uncle, the landlord of that shop. Thank you, uncle. Su Yang brought Maran to the landlord, and the landlord asked directly, do you want to rent it? Right. The landlord held a cigarette in his mouth and asked, did that old guy say anything to you? No, we just got off the bus. Su Yang said very naturally, he will definitely not betray the kind uncle. Oh. The landlord took out the key, unlocked the door, and opened the rolling shutter door. After a while, Su Yang saw the situation in the store. Almost all the tables and chairs in the store had been emptied, and there was a layer of dust on the floor. What kind of store do you open? Hot pot restaurant. You are very discerning. The landlord turned on the light and said with a smile, my store is in a good location, nearly 300 square meters, and the monthly rent is only 30,000. Su Yang was mentally prepared for the rent of 30,000 yuan. The rent is indeed more expensive than other shops nearby, but it's expensive, and the location of this store is indeed very good. It is one of the best shops on this street. Just when Su Yang was about to agree, a familiar voice suddenly sounded beside him. Boy, I told you that this store cannot be rented. Why can't we rent? Su Yang asked smoothly, but after he said these words, he was stunned. I turned around and saw a smiling little old man holding a cattail leaf fan. Isn't this the man from the convenience store next door? The owner of this shop is not honest. Last time Zhang Ji Chuan opened a shop here, the business was so booming. As a result, The landlord saw that the business was good and drove him away. The 40-year-old landlord said angrily, "Li Guohong, don't talk nonsense." "What do you mean by talking nonsense?" Uncle Li sneered, "Young man, you can ask other neighbors nearby. They all know about this. Zhang Wanxian is just dishonest, just like his father. Do you think he really wants to rent it to you? That's because he ruined the business himself. When you open a hot pot restaurant, he might drive you away again." That when Uncle Li said this, no matter how stupid Su Yang was, he understood. He naturally pretended to be hesitant. Zhang Wanxian scolded angrily, "Li Guohong, don't go too far." Uncle Li smiled and said, "Why did I go too far?" Zhang Wanxian, you think I don't know that those people who wanted to rent my shop were scared away by you? Uncle Li fanned himself a few times and asked, "Am I not telling the truth?" "They were obviously scared away by your character. Don't frame me falsely. You." Zhang Wanxian pointed at Uncle Li and was so angry that he couldn't speak. He raised his hand and walked quickly towards Uncle Li, looking like he was going to hit someone. Su Yang was about to attack, but he heard Uncle Li turn around and ask, "Su Wan, are you ready?" Uncle Li's wife held up her phone not far away and made an OK gesture. "We've been ready for a long time, and we're all recording. Come on. Come on." Uncle Li pointed at Zhang Wanxian and challenged, "If I dare to hit you, I dare to lie down. If you hit me a few more times, maybe I can hire a nurse for the rest of my life." At this time, Su Yang also stood between the two of them. If this kind-hearted Uncle Li was really beaten, he would not bear it. There was no need for Su Yang to pull him. Zhang Wanxian just stood there and did not dare to take a step forward. Section 60. You are listening at novelfull.audio. His face turned red from holding back. At this time, Maran also quickly stepped forward and blocked Uncle Li behind with Su Yang. Uncle Li stood behind Su Yang and Maran and said proudly, "Zhang Wanxian, you are not as good as your father. At least your father dares to fight me. Not as good as his mother." Uncle Li's wife added. Hearing this, Su Yang suddenly understood. It turns out that these two families have had a grudge for a long time, and it should still be a feud. The kind that has long been torn apart. "You think I'm afraid of you?" Zhang Wanxian raised his hands angrily and was about to rush over. "Speak carefully if you have something to say, don't do anything, stay calm." Su Yang quickly grabbed his hand. His hands were like vice. Zhang Wanxian could not move at all in his hands. However, Su Yang also found that Zhang Wanxian didn't seem to use much force. It seems like what Li Guohong said, he is just pretending. As a result, the strength in his hands also relaxed. Taking this opportunity, Su Yang quickly took the time to use his business deduction skills. The situation seems to have changed, and he must make adjustments in time. Seeing Zhang Wanxian being held back by Su Yang, Uncle Li, who was still a little guilty, hid behind him and continued to output. "I tell you Zhang Wanxian, I, Li Guohong, squat here every day, 365 days a year. If anyone wants to rent your shop, I will tell them that you Zhang family are some rotten people. I'm here, and you will never rent out this shop in your lifetime. Little brother, let's talk somewhere else and ignore this old guy." Zhang Wanxian said and pulled Su Yang into the store. Su Yang pretended to be very embarrassed. It seemed that Zhang Wanxian was dragged in alive. When Maran saw Su Yang being pulled in, he immediately followed. Entering the shop, Zhang Wanxian said, "I'll rent this shop to you for 30,000 yuan a month. Business will definitely be booming." Su Yang hesitated. "I'll go back and think about it. 28,000, how about it?" Seeing Li Guohong walking towards the store, Zhang Wanxian became agitated. 28,000, it's definitely cheap. Su Yang was about to refuse when he heard Li Guohong standing at the door of the store and said, "Young man, don't rent his shop. I have lived here all my life. I will introduce you to a good shop and ensure that your business is prosperous. Get out. Get out. This is my shop. Don't come in." Seeing that Li Guohong still wanted to come in, Zhang Wanxian walked to the door in a few steps and pulled down the rolling shutter door. After pulling down the rolling shutter door, Zhang Wanxian took a breath. Did Li Guohong find a better shop than him? Zhang Wanxian thinks it's really possible. Little brother, how about 28,000, that at this time, the rolling shutter door was knocked loudly again, and Li Guohong continued to say outside, young man, don't rent, maybe one day I will dump excrement in front of my convenience store. Well. So cruel. Su Yang was stunned. Zhang Wanxian said, Li Guohong, don't go too far. Uncle Li smiled and said, I'm just saying, as long as I'm here, you can't even think of renting out this shop. Zhang Wanxian walked up to Su Yang in a few steps. Little brother, how about 28,000? Su Yang took a deep breath. I think I need to consider this matter carefully. 27,000, no more. Zhang Wanxian whispered, that old man is just trying to scare you, he can't do that kind of thing yet. But what if? If he really does that, my business will definitely be ruined. Su Yang said helplessly, I can't afford to gamble. Zhang Wanxian scratched his scalp hard. He knew that Su Yang was telling the truth. Who the hell wants to eat hot pot next to shit? Li Guohong only needs to do this 2 or 3 times, and all the nearby customers will be gone. He is so old, who can do anything to him? I'm telling you, no one will want your shop. Li Guohong knocked on the rolling door again. That's right, young man, don't rent his shop. I will introduce you to a better one. Come out quickly. Come here quickly. How about 22,000? Su Yang suddenly asked in a low voice. What? The monthly rent is 22,000. You are robbing. Zhang Wanxian almost jumped up on the spot. He didn't expect Su Yang, who seemed harmless to humans and animals, to be so evil. Chapter 46. Uncle Li is a little anxious. My heart feels like a cat scratching me. Brother, with such an old man here, it's difficult to rent out your store, and I have to take a lot of risks if I rent it. Su Yang lowered his voice and said helplessly, and now that the catering industry is in a slump, your store, if it remains vacant for a few more months, you will lose more than this. If it remains vacant for a year, you will lose close to 300,000 yuan. You might as well rent it to me. That the shop hasn't been open for a long time, and the air is very dull, as if there is a lack of oxygen, Zhang Wanxian whispered, but it can't be 22,000, right? The rent of the fish hot pot restaurant next door is 26,000, and the location is far worse than mine. But there is no such man next door to that fish hot pot restaurant. Zhang Wanxian was speechless. Besides, why would a rich man like me care about the rent? It's just a matter of losing a few hands at the poker table. Su Yang thought for a moment and whispered, in this case, didn't that uncle say it was you? Can't you rent this shop? Just say you're renting it to me at 28,000 yuan per month, and I'll fully cooperate with you, so that I can help you get out of your bad temper. Ma Ran turned his head silently, pretending to be checking the store, and walked to the corner to face the wall. He felt like he couldn't hold it back any longer. When he walked to the back kitchen where no one noticed him, his somewhat dull face finally twisted into a laughing state. My boss is a bit dark. If I say I rent your shop for 28,000 yuan, that will definitely make that old man unhappy, and I don't know how to make up for the relationship in the future. Since you don't want to, forget it. Su Yang breathed a sigh of relief, as if he had put down a burden, and shouted to the back kitchen, Ma Ran, let's go. Okay, boss. Ma Ran responded positively. Yes, yes, yes. The old man outside the door shouted, come out and I'll take you to see the shop. Wait. Seeing Su Yang was about to leave, Zhang Wanxian immediately stopped him and whispered, can you say it's rented for 30,000 yuan? Su Yang stopped and asked back, do you think that old man will believe it? That he knew Zhang Wanxian would stop him. It's a pity that 22,000 yuan is Zhang Wanxian's bottom line, otherwise Su Yang could cut more. Zhang Wanxian also felt that Li Guohong was not that stupid. Su Yang reminded, but you can give me some discounts, and then he might believe it. Give you 1 month of free rent for renovation. Isn't this what I deserve? Are you going to charge me rent during the renovation period? Su Yang said in disbelief, this is not the first time I've opened a store. Even in a large shopping mall, I can get 1 month of free rent for renovation. Zhang Wanxian said embarrassedly, I didn't give it to the boss who opened Zhangji Chuan before, Su Yang asked in a low voice. Then I pretended to be a newbie in the catering industry and was fooled by the preferential conditions you offered. Yes, yes, yes. Zhang Wanxian said quickly, that's it.